And
Oh yeah, I lived in this summer.
You're absolutely right. I still, I'm
say it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! Congratulations, man. I mean, and it is going to be continued success because just like Gary was saying, the freaking phone is an extension of our hand, and there's only going to be more platforms that come.
Right. Can you walk down the street?
Periscope.
The craziest thing is, you guys invented this. You know that, right?
No, it's the truth. You the parent of it.
Don't put that shit on me, Gary. You were
It's not a bad thing.
Don't
though.
put that shit on me, Gary. you invented it. You guys were the absolute first seed.
Just the first thing I told Tracy, I said, Tracy, what are you doing when I saw the girls? I said, that reminds me of real girl. She's like, you should do it. I said, I already did it. And I was like, I don't need Snapchat.
But without MTV executive producers.
Let's introduce some favorite songs.
And now, your first.
Yep, Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5. Citizens, it's Thursday. That's the day we do First Day with Kelly Kincaid. And we just try to get you better on all forms of life, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual. Guess what? Digitally, we have now stepped into the world of digital improvement.
Yeah.
And Kelly brought in a guest today by way of Tracy G. And Kelly.
We have the amazing Gary Vaynerchuk. He has a new book coming out next Tuesday, March 8th, called Ask Gary V. And I was asking you about that. Like, what is this book about?
this is the 360 blueprint for entrepreneurs and executives and just people about how to navigate through the current state of what's happening now. When you know, it's funny, you said now we're going digital, and I was laughing while you were saying, I'm like, fuck, digital is what we do.
Yeah.
Like there is no digital has, it's like oxygen. Mm-hmm. There's no going back.
Yeah, it's
right.
no going
Like just
back.
so everybody who's listening, like if you're sitting at home right now, you're like, oh, I wish it, like, there's no more, it's gonna be like it used to be.
Right.
It's gonna get worse. We're gonna live in virtual reality. You guys are gonna do this, you're gonna do this show in 15 years, laying in your bed, thinking you're here.
Oh, please speak it into existence.
The good news is I'm not hoping or predicting. Mm-hmm. It already exists. It's just the internet in 91, 92, 93, 94. It'll take 10 to 15 years,
right.
But you will literally be sitting in your couch. Everybody listening, just understand, what is it, 2016? In 2031, you'll be sitting in your couch, you're gonna put some contact lenses on, and your brain will 99% believe that you're walking around in Paris.
That's my favorite city, so okay. I like that.
But you know what's funny? I know a lot of people listening and say, what? If you spoke to somebody in 1990,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this is pre-CDs,
Right,
so we had
right.
cassettes, right? And you said, let me show you the internet in 2016. Phones, like, they wouldn't have been able to wrap their head around it.
Right.
Like, you just wouldn't. I mean, you know, looking around the room, some of us remember pre-internet. Remember pre-internet?
Absolutely.
Like, there just was no internet. And so, like, and now you're spending 8 or 10 hours of your attention in there. You're living in there. So digital is all encompassing.
All encompassing. 888-742-3345. You want to say what up to Gary? Please do so now. Hey, Jason, guess what? You calling in from Salt Lake City. I'm sorry. Say what's up to Gary V.
Phenomenal. How are you? Thank you, brother. You didn't read the new book yet.
Right.
How many? Tell the truth, don't lie, right? Okay. How about 4? I appreciate it, but how about 4? Bam, Andy, you see that? 2 more. 2 more sold. Now hustle. Jason, thank you so much,
Jason,
man.
you're a citizen of Sway in the morning. Let's go to Ingrid. Ingrid, hello. You're calling in from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You starting a business?
Luggage? So what? You're going to build an app? So let me ask you a question. let me ask you a question. Do you have a technical co-founder yet? So you need to go to meetup.com.
Yep.
Meetup.com. There's where do you live? Where are we talking?
Milwaukee.
There's definitely meetup groups in Milwaukee that are developers. You got to type in web developers, app builders. You need to find. Everybody's going to call with an idea. Ideas are shit unless you execute them. So you need to actually build that app. The way you do that is you find a co-founder who wants to do it, and they'll build it for you. And then you've got a shot, because just mapping it in your head or calling the radio and saying this is what I'm going to do is not going to make it happen. So you have to go to meetup.com, you go to these nerd hangouts, and you find the nerd you like the most and ask them to build it.
Gary, you were talking about putting value first for customers. And for someone who's starting up a company, instead of tweeting, hey, check out my company, what's a better way for people to draw attention?
So that exact example, what we heard from her, if she went to twitter.com/search and she searched traveling or laundry or other things she would see lots of people saying, damn, I can't get to my laundry. And she could start engaging and talking to them. Instead of selling her thing, you can engage with people, and it's all about listening, right? I'm sure you guys think about that. Like, what makes you guys good at what you do, right? You have guests come in, you could talk, but if you listen and then you react to what they say and then ask, right? You're building, right?
Exactly.
So the way you guys roll and what you do for a living, that's how I roll as a businessman. Of course I want to sell books, and I'll get silly with Jason, who's already bought all my books, and go silly and say, buy 2 more, because I know I already got equity with him, right? Right now, let's think about what Jason did. Jason's living his life in Utah. He saw my social shout out, or he was listening, and he's like, man, he took time, the biggest asset, and he called, and he was willing to wait on the line and then get on. He cares. So I can joke with him because I've already won because I brought him value.
Elite, she's been holding on the line as well. Good morning. You're calling in from South Carolina. Say what's up to Gary V. You have a question?
Thank you. So I think anybody in any business is going to get to see what are the different, so I talk a lot about self-awareness, I talk a lot about empathy, I talk a lot about gratitude, I talk about work-life balance, I talk about parenting. So there's a lot of tactics, Elite, in there, what you should do on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, Instagram, Snapchat. But then on top of it, it's really that higher level thinking of, okay, not only here's how you can do it, why are you doing it, what are other ways to do it. It's just a much deeper thought process. Because it's like 300-400 questions and answers, it's super tactical of both the tactics and the religion, right? It's like, here's the religion, and here, go to church on Sunday. Got it? It's both.
Right. Citizens, you're listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. He's an author, entrepreneur, a keynote speaker.
Die-hard Jets fan.
We already had an argument about that one.
You wanted to ask him something?
Yeah, I have a freaking mountain pile of questions.
Go, Grace.
All right.
Pick 2, I'll go fast.
Okay, going back to Snapchat, right? I
Yes.
freaking love Snapchat. My only caveat is that it rapes the shit out of my battery power.
Yes.
But for a lot of folks, like you were saying, some people are still in their 30s, 40s, 50s who are just averse to it all. One of our coworkers, I was having a conversation with him. He doesn't understand how it goes into conversion, how it can really bubble his brand, how it can bring him profits. Have you talked about best practices on Snapchat?
He's clearly thinking about marketing from a direct response, click attribution, tactical standpoint. That's like saying I don't get what being on TV all the time does for my business. Because nobody's clicking from their TV and buying Kelly Ripa's book. So what he is you tell your man that he's basic thinking. He's thinking one chess move. It's called branding. There's 2 separate things. One's called branding, one's called sales.
Right.
He's talking sales. That's one step, right? You go on Google, you buy an ad, you click it, you sell. That's a sale. But branding is different. What does Taylor Swift get out of surprising a fan and bringing them on stage? She didn't get a transaction. Nobody touched the screen and bought her album. She built brand. It made you think something. Like, so they're thinking too basic. Snapchat, I have 30,000 people watching every one of my Snapchat stories, right? I snap me walking into here. They didn't click it and bought my book, but I'm painting a narrative of my life. They're becoming interested. And then when I ask for it somewhere else tactically, so I'm playing chess, and I think your man's playing checkers.
So what about somebody like me with Snapchat? We joked about it before when we were playing music. Snapchat reminds me of college years, because I feel like
college years. Go there.
College.
You didn't say college years.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to. I keep bringing it up. It reminds me of fucking real world, Gary.
Of course, because that's what it is. I mean, if you look at what people are putting, Snapchat's winning because it did something different for us. If you look at Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, it's got a lot of similarities. Snapchat's a whole different narrative. Everybody's got to be a storyteller. And when you've got to be a storyteller with a phone, it's just so authentic. It's so much more real. Just like what you were a part of changed television forever because it was a whole different genre of authenticity. And you know, and we've come to learn that reality TV isn't 100% reality, but it's a shitload more reality than Seinfeld or MASH, right? And so that's what Snapchat's done. It's so much more real. It's the way that person is usually looking at the world. It's very authentic.
One more.
Gary, when you were talking about Snapchat, though, all the platforms, what about those people who feel the introverts or the people who like their personal life private?
Keep your life private. Like, by the way, guys, there's plenty of people making millions of dollars by not putting their lives on the internet.
Facts.
You can build a lot of business. Like, if you're an introvert and you don't like people, then don't do it.
That's simple.
I love when people come up to me like, Gary, this is all fucked up. Like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, good, don't.
Right.
Like, there's no Instagram monster that's coming to your house like, like, I mean,
right, but everything's an exchange.
Go ahead, Tracy.
Okay, so
everything is an exchange, Trace.
if Mark Zuckerberg called you up and said, yo, Gary, what do you think about Kanye asking me to borrow money? What do you think about me investing in him? Would he be a liability if I put my stamp of approval? What would you say?
I would say if you can get the right interest on that money, you should take it, because I think Kanye will be able to amass that wealth over the rest of his life.
He said he in debt over his life.
I think, and I obviously saw that, but I haven't been following the story. I think I heard somewhere that he's referring to the clothing company more so than him personally, right? Is that true?
Yeah.
Probably.
You know, I don't know. Listen,
It's furs.
Kanye's on an interesting kick. Like, I'm real fascinated to see what happens with him over the next 3 to 5 years. He's playing a lot of different games right now.
Yeah.
And he's a real clever storyteller. I mean, back to the earlier question, he's not worried about the transactional stuff. He's doing a lot of stuff for brand and awareness. He's playing that game. It'll be super interesting. The one thing I did enjoy that happened recently with him, and I hear it, is he's trying to force people to consume his stuff on Tidal, and the market will always fight when you tell them how you have to consume your stuff.
Word.
Always. And that's the most interesting thing that's happened, not the tweet.
Got it.
All right, man. Citizens, we can't get to you. It's just too many. Gary,
Sorry,
you blew up the
citizens.
phone
I see
lines.
it.
Look at this.
I feel
Two
bad.
in Chicago.
I feel
Boogie
sorry.
in
Boogie, Chicago, sorry, Denver.
Craig in Boston.
sorry.
Cliff in Dallas.
Cliff in Dallas.
Giselle can't even get to this, but it's a
Giselle, sorry.
516 number, so that's probably Long Island somewhere. Leave your voicemails, and we'll get to them and play them at the end of the show. Even if you want to give Gary a shout out, just leave your voicemails. We'll play it. Gary, where can people reach you?
Twitter.com/GaryVee. That's who I am on Instagram as well. Facebook.com/Gary, Gary.
Kelly, this is really, really dope. Where can people reach you?
You can reach me on Twitter, Kelly Kincaid, on all platforms, KELLYKINKAID. Do your research. Check Gary out on all his platforms. You got to ask Daily Gary V.
Yes.
You can stay up on
Ask
him.
Gary V on YouTube. Good
Yeah.
show. I like
Tracy
it.
G, let people know where they can reach you as well,
Trace.
because you like to snap.
Yes, I do. I'm a Snapaholic. Find me. Well, since we're mentioning Snapchat, find me on Snapchat. It's Tracy G Snaps. Twitter, Instagram. It's Tracy G.
Citizens, Michael K. Williams, he's up next on Swing in the Morning, Shade 4-5.
Yay!
So awesome.
No,